These entitled people got humbled in real time. Marathon.
I'm petrified of nipple chafing. Once it starts, it is a vicious circle.
Am I the a-hole for calling the police?
A reunion?
On my mother-in-law?
What's wrong with her?
I, 28 female, got married to my husband, 34 male, a week ago. We got engaged about a year ago, and when I got engaged, my mother gave me a pair of earrings, which she said every woman for generations in our family has worn to their weddings.
Tradition.
There are 4-carat dangling earrings. And they're worth a lot. I felt very honored to be given them, and it made me feel closer to my grandmother, who had died 2 months prior. What an amazing tradition.
Tradition.
I love that so much. So about 3 months after that, I went wedding dress shopping with my mother, my sister, and my fiance's mother. I brought all the jewelry that I said I would be wearing to my wedding to see how they matched the dresses. When I put the jewelry on, my mother-in-law kept going on and on about how gorgeous the earrings were. My mother explained the story and how they were a family heirloom, passed down generations. I found the dress of my dreams and I bought it. Oh, I know where this is going.
Where is this going?
On the day of my wedding, I had everything ready in my room. My wedding dress, my flowers, my shoes, my makeup, and my jewelry. I was in there with my soon-to-be mother-in-law. I then needed to go to the toilet. And when I came back, my mother-in-law was gone. And let me guess, so were the earrings? I wasn't sure what had happened, but I thought maybe she just got called away to do something. Then I noticed my earrings were gone. I knew straight away that she had taken them. I found her and confronted her, and she said she didn't take them.
Liar.
Where did they go then? They were there, and then they weren't there, and the only person that it could be is you. I asked if I could look through her bag, and she said no, and I gripped onto it. Why? What you got in there? I said that if she didn't let me look, I would call the police, which I then did, as she still wouldn't let me look. The police arrived and searched her and the earrings we found in her bag.
Busted.
What I don't understand is you're stealing something from someone, and it's not like this is like something that everybody has that you'd be able to be like, oh, I got it from this place. Oh, I saw that you had these earrings and I bought them too, or blah, blah, blah. Like, how are you gonna even wear these earrings without somebody calling you out? This person is your daughter-in-law or future daughter-in-law. The earrings were returned to me and they asked if I wanted to press charges. Damn right you do. I wanted to talk to my fiance first and he said he would support me if I wanted to. Well, at least there's that. Good. I didn't want to decide in that moment, so I just ignored it and had a great night. That was a week ago, and since then I've been getting loads of threatening calls and messages from my husband's side of the family. Why though? Threatening messages? You're the victim, babe. Someone stole from you. My mother-in-law has been sending me extremely hateful texts and I think I want to press charges, but I'm not sure if it's a good idea.
Do it.
I mean, you're already getting the hateful texts without even doing anything other than get your earrings back, which you legally had the right to do. Has she apologized? What was her explanation for stealing your family heirloom earrings that are worth a lot of money? Like, yeah, I could be hesitant because she is actually your fiance's mother, right? So that's obviously not ideal to have your fiance's mother go to jail for theft. And I would imagine if the earrings are as expensive as you say they are, they're probably worth enough for her to get like jail time. Like definitely, not just a slap on the wrist. I think after like a certain amount, $5,000, $10,000, depending on where you are, it's considered like grand larceny. But at the same time, she stole your earrings and had zero remorse and is not only stealing, but also getting her family to threaten you and harass you?
Yeah, Bing. What's that about?
You're not the a-hole in my eyes, but let's see what everybody else had to say. Not the a-hole. Mother-in-law is a thief that tried to make off with your heirloom earrings. F that. Press charges and be done with her. Be done with her. She then doubled down by getting her family to harass OP, as you do when you don't want to be charged. I didn't really understand that part. Were you trying to scare her into not pressing charges? Like, you clearly belong in jail, babe. Press charges for both harassment and theft. Yeah, like the whole intimidation thing is like, you sound like a criminal. If OP doesn't, the family will just keep at it. Prove that messing with your family has consequences. Period. I am all for this. Wildly trashy mother-in-law. She knows OP could press charges and is harassing her as if, you know, that pile wasn't big enough to begin with. Let's just add on harassment and threats. She knew the story, she stole them and wouldn't come clean and stubbornly held them until cops were called on her. I agree, press charges and add that you're being harassed, so maybe a judge will give you a restraining order. Look into a safety deposit box for the earrings because I wouldn't trust any of mother-in-law's flying monkeys to even have a chance of access. That's what's up. I agree with all of this. What on earth was her end game? To quietly sell them and just have sudden extra money that no one would draw lines about? That's a good point. But the way that she was talking, she liked them so much that she wanted them for herself. You gotta be some kind of stupid to like steal something and then wear it around the person that you stole it from.
You'd be surprised.
Nope, she went Gollum on them. She wouldn't have sold them. This is what I'm saying. She sounded like she really, like, literally, like, my precious. That's my best Gollum impression. Take it or leave it. She wanted them for herself. She would have worn them everywhere. She and the husband weren't. That's a good point. But everybody would know. She would have eventually slipped and got caught. Like, all it takes is one person taking a picture of you wearing them and posting it to social media and you're done. Please press charges for stealing and harassment. If in text, save those, save voicemails, everything. Get Ring cameras just in case she comes over to the house over this. You're not the a-hole, my dear. Let us know how that goes. Am I the a-hole for banning my mother-in-law from my life after she said I slept with father-in-law? You didn't, right? You didn't?
You want the truth?
So for context, I met my mother-in-law and father-in-law before I met my boyfriend because I used to work for them. He happens to be autistic, Asperger's, and I noticed shortly after starting the relationship that everyone in his family always treated him like he was unable to do things on his own and pretty much tried to influence him into doing the things that they wanted him to. Career-wise, job-wise, quitting hobbies they considered childish, etc. I told myself I would never do this, and I would always treat him like the adult that he is. So I encouraged him to make his own decisions, and I can tell he's grown a lot in the past 5 years of the relationship. In fact, I feel we have both grown up. You sound amazing. You sound like a stand-up gal. Good on ya.
Kudos.
Back to his mom. I always noticed that she resented that I became such an important person for her son. Right, because she couldn't control him anymore. That he started taking my opinion and input in matters so much in consideration. But I always tried to be friends with her. I talked to her in her own terms and pretty much try to be close to her. But as it happens, it became more of a pretend to be nice to your face and then trash talk about you behind your back kind of situation.
I know the type.
Things really went down when my boyfriend let me borrow his car to go on a 4-day college trip. And when she found out, she went ballistic because he never lent her the car to go anywhere. She started screaming and saying that I was just a manipulative who had slept with half our town before we met and even his father. And because his father wouldn't continue the relationship, I started dating the son. Okay.
You sure about that?
This, of course, is a lie. My boyfriend had a big meltdown from hearing this, and when I came back from the trip, he asked me to move in with me for a while because he didn't want to be around her. This was months ago. I haven't talked to her again, blocked her on every social media, and started going to therapy. My boyfriend is okay now, and he's on speaking terms with her. Now we are moving into a house of our own. We were at my parents', and his family's pushing for us to have a good relationship with mother-in-law again. But to be quite honest, I don't want her in my life anymore. I understand she's my boyfriend's mom, and she's always going to be in the picture, but I can't get past the fact that she would say the things that she said, knowing how much those things would hurt her son, just because he let me borrow his car and not her, because he doesn't trust her. So obviously, I'm still mad. But everyone in my boyfriend's family says that she's a good mom, that this was just a mistake she made, and that I should let it pass and fix things with her. Okay, so has she apologized for saying the things that she said? You can have the conversation with her, but if she doesn't apologize for what she said, it's a no-go. Am I the a-hole for never wanting to talk to her again?
No, absolutely not.
Here's the thing, babes. We all have falling outs with people. We all have disagreements with people. Things are said that are not necessarily what we mean, but the point is you gotta be able to talk about it, especially if it's, you know, a friend that you really care about or someone in your family or someone in your spouse's family. You gotta find a way to maybe talk about it once things have cooled off, because once you talk about it, you can finally find out if the person was actually sorry for what they did or if they're just going to gaslight you and put the blame on you, in which case you know that you were right in feeling the way that you feel. But you kind of gotta have that conversation, you know? That's how I feel about it. Obviously, this was a really terrible thing for her to do. If it was anybody else, I would say screw him. Don't care, take a hike. But it's your future mother-in-law. You're not the a-hole for not wanting to ever talk to her again. What she did was really awful. To not only you, but also your fiance. Like, she did that not only to you, but to her own son, which is like, You sound very protective of him. You sound like you put him first in a lot of situations, and that would piss me off too. However, he's talking to her again, and I'm assuming that she's probably gonna be at the wedding. You're probably gonna see her around. So it might be best to talk about it. And then, based on how apologetic she is, based on her accountability, you can decide whether or not you want to move forward with the relationship.
It's a hard pass.
Forgiveness does not equal trust. You asked her if you should forgive her. Absolutely. But that doesn't mean that you have to let her keep hurting you. If she's going to extend the olive branch, then consider it. But if she refuses to ever admit wrongdoing, you'd be wasting your time and your self-respect by trying to make up with her. This is the thing, right? When you have disagreements with people, when people hurt you, and you try to talk to them again about it, both people have to be humble. They both have to admit fault. Unless, of course, it's literally just like kind of one person that did the hurting.
We were on a break!
In which case they need to apologize. But you know, the reconciliation has to come from both sides. If she's not willing to talk to you about it and admit wrongdoing, then you can decide from then whether you want to have a relationship with her. You're not the a-hole. Am I the a-hole for banning my mother-in-law from the house? I, male 39, lost my late wife 6 years ago. I have a 16-year-old son, Daniel, and I recently got engaged to my fiance of 2 years. Her mom and I aren't on good terms because of how she behaves. She's a controlling, self-centered, Dolly Parton wannabe. Wow, I really do have an image of her in my head. I learned to ignore her crap, but she's been annoying Daniel and criticizing his personality regularly. He's a private kid and still hasn't gotten used to the new family dynamic, but he's in therapy and is doing fine. She keeps diagnosing him left and right, calling him antisocial, autistic, and other crap. I'm sorry, is she a doctor?
I googled it.
Fact is, Daniel is a shy, well-mannered kid, but people confuse that with being antisocial. Mother-in-law tried several times to force Daniel to open up by embarrassing him with personal questions on family dinners and test his personality type. Honestly, it's things like this that make people antisocial. People wonder why others are antisocial, and this is exactly why. I've realized the effect her behavior had on Daniel, so I gave him the choice to no longer be in the same room / house as mother-in-law, and he appreciated this a lot. Mother-in-law didn't like that Daniel kept his distance. Why is it surprising that he kept his distance from her? You suck, mother-in-law. Don't be surprised that people don't want to be around you. Mother-in-law didn't like that Daniel kept his distance and no longer visits, and kept bitching about how spoiled he will become for her daughter to deal with. I told her to stop bringing it up, but she cried, "I'm just doing it for Danny." Okay. I mean, you sound like people are different, okay? If he's shy, he's shy. Maybe stop trying to change him and he'll want to hang out with you more.
People.
Last week, she visited unexpectedly, wanting to say hi to Daniel. After Daniel greeted her, he went into the bathroom and she went into the living room with my fiance. I was in my bedroom when Daniel came out and said his journal was gone.
Not again.
Oh,
Hell no.
seriously? We looked for it for a bit but didn't find it. I asked my fiance who was alone in the kitchen but didn't see it. I paused for a second to ask where my mother-in-law was. My fiance said in the living room, but I saw her coming down the stairs. I asked where she was. She said in the bathroom. I saw her purse in hand, so I bluntly asked if she took Daniel's journal. She looked offended and called for my fiance when I insisted to see inside her purse. Why? What you got in there? It's always the people that have something in their purse that shouldn't be there that are suddenly not letting you look inside their purse. She wanted to leave, but I didn't let her. Fiance told me to stop it, but I insisted the journal was in there. Mother-in-law tried to explain this was her only chance to get to know Daniel because she cares about him. No. If you cared about him, you would let him have his private thoughts and life. That is a flat out invasion of privacy. He's not your son. And even if he was, you gotta let your kids kind of have their own stuff going on, especially a journal. I blew up at her and berated her for stealing from my son and told her she's banned from my house for the stunt she pulled. She argued with me, then left. My fiance apologized for her, but said banning her from the house was over the top. It's not. She not only stole, but she also doesn't respect his privacy. It backlashed, and I and father-in-law argued and hoped his daughter realized how freaking abusive I am and call off the wedding for refusing to apologize to mother-in-law. Fiance said her family won't come to the wedding until I reconcile with her mom and cancel the ban, but I won't let my son be disrespected in his own house and ask my fiance to understand. I'm refusing to reconcile, but I'm aware this could ruin my relationship with my in-laws, not just mother-in-law, and my fiance thinks I'm selfish to cause drama. Honey, I don't love this fiance for you. I'm telling you right now, this does not sound good. Again, maybe the mother-in-law does have good intentions. Maybe she does. However, there's been no apology. Yeah, I don't know if I love this for you, babes. That's kind of a bit of a problem for me. I don't like it when spouses don't support you when you have altercations with your in-laws. Not the a-hole, and if I were you, I'd put off the wedding until you know for sure that your fiance understands and will stand up for your son and you to her family when stuff like this happens. I think the ban is 100% justified. I mean, if she didn't just go and like take something that wasn't hers, that was very private, I would say just like continue on as it is, but clearly she cannot be trusted in your house. Postpone the wedding. Also hate to say this, but do you have an ironclad will? I shudder what to think what would happen if you suddenly died and your fiance so easily influenced by her mother, period.
Hey, quick heads up. I'm gonna be working from home for the next few weeks, so I'm not gonna be able to bring you to work. Really sorry, but it's been so quiet, there's no need for me to be going in. It's not until the 17th anyway, so I will take you till then, obviously, and hopefully it's enough time for you to sort out something else. Okay, so I'm guessing you drive this coworker to work every day?
Well, that doesn't really help me after the 17th.
Are you still going to be on late shifts? I know, I'm sorry, but hopefully there's someone else at work who is cool to take you in. I'll be doing 10 to 6 for a couple of weeks and then I'm back on earlies.
They won't.
Well, I'm on early, so can't you just pick me up and drop me off? You will have plenty of time to get back home. Sorry, but no, the whole point is so I don't have to leave the house. What do I look like to you, a frickin' taxi? Right, that's me stuck then. The thing that bothers me about entitled people, especially when you've been nice to them, is the complete disregard for what they've done to you or for you until then. They only care about getting that little thing taken away.
This whole thing, all of this, it's all about me.
It's like taking candy away from a little entitled baby. Again, I'm really sorry, but obviously we are in a pandemic. That's why I'm staying home. There's no point in my picking you up because it defeats the object. I'll ask around at work to see if anyone can take you. Again, you don't have to do that. Don't bother trying to backtrack and be nice. You didn't think about me when you made your decision. Don't try to think about me now. Are you taking me on Monday then?
Well, not anymore.
Oh, I see how it is. Oh, this is honestly so familiar. Like literally so familiar to me. Conversations with entitled people. I'm sorry, I won't be able to do this anymore, but you know, let's offer another solution.
Oh, well, how dare you? How dare you take away my candy?
Sorry, it's just kind of like inconvenient for me to do that.
Well, that's too bad.
You must do things for me always. I'm entitled, don't you see? That's how this works. I like how suddenly this entitled person, this entitled coworker changes their tune when they need a ride. Nice little key change for you. Karen coworker reports a woman for eating sexy potatoes at work. Office drama ensues. Oh, excellent. What, you know, I don't have to ask what a sexy potato is, because I am one, but indulge me. What is a sexy potato? A woman who has been eating potatoes hot dog style for lunch. Okay, so you're eating the potato the way you would eat a hot dog. Okay, all right, weird, but sure. Who am I to judge how you consume your potatoes? Well, she got reported to HR for eating them too suggestively by an irritated coworker. What? Am I the a-hole for eating sexy potatoes?
I have absolutely no idea what's going on.
It honestly feels ridiculous that I have to post this, but my coworker has been getting on to me about this for weeks now, so I have to ask. My whole life I've been eating potatoes by microwaving them, then biting into them, eating them hot dog style. This is the easiest, most convenient, and intuitive way for me to eat potatoes, sweet potatoes, or regular. Interesting, I've never done that. Makes sense though, potatoes are a to cook. I think this is how people in Japan eat them, or at least this is how I was taught by my Japanese parents to eat them. Whenever I go to a grocery store, I always pick out the most easily biteable potatoes, which are generally longer and thinner than most potatoes. Okay, all right then. So I work in an office of about 30 people. We all typically bring our own lunch, and I just eat at my desk while doing work. No one has ever commented about how I eat potatoes. But I do eat them quite frequently. Recently, a new person was hired and she clearly has a problem with the way I eat potatoes. A couple times she pulled me aside and asked me that I just eat potatoes a more normal way. Oh, that is like so weird. Weirder than you eating potatoes like a hot dog, okay? I asked her what she meant. She said I was eating potatoes too suggestively. Why is she just watching you eat your potatoes is what I want to know. Avert your eyes. Avert your gaze if you do not want me to eat my sexy potatoes.
My sexy potatoes are none of your business!
I was a little shocked because I literally just had my eyes glued to my screen whenever I'm eating and barely pay attention to how I eat. Honestly, she should get in trouble for like not working and being distracted by people eating their lunch. Like, what are you doing? You're supposed to be working. Why are you watching them eat the potatoes? The sexiest potatoes. I've considered bringing them other ways, but this is just the easiest way for me to eat them. And they're honestly delicious like this to me. I want to try some sexy potatoes now. You're really selling it. I asked her to maybe just not watch me eat, but apparently that's not feasible. Oh, God. Unfortunately, she reported me. Now I have a meeting with HR. This seems really dumb to me, but am I the a-hole for eating sexy potatoes? No, she's the a-hole for harassing you about how you eat potatoes. Mind your business. Everybody needs to mind their business. Okay, guys, there's an update. Update. So I had a couple meetings with HR. The first one was on my own yesterday morning alone with the HR woman. According to her, a coworker had reported me for harassment and creating a hostile work environment. Not gonna lie, after hearing those accusations, I was pretty scared. Harassment is a really serious charge. I was allegedly making gestures while eating despite repeatedly being asked to stop. I told her exactly what happened. I was eating the potatoes the same way I've always eaten them in the past 4 years I've worked in this office. No one else had a problem with this until now. The new coworker, let's call her Karen. Yes, let's. Karen or Debbie or
Susan?
For some reason, Susan seems to apply more when it comes to entitled coworkers, but sure, let's just go with Karen. Karen approached me telling me I was eating potatoes inappropriately and told me to eat them another way. I explained to her that this is how I grew up eating them and would not stop. If it bothered her, and she could and should, look away. I continued eating potatoes this way, and then over the next several weeks, she kept complaining about my potatoes every time I ate them this way. This is so ridiculous. As I explained my side, I could tell HR was getting really annoyed. I don't think she believed that this was all there was to it. She pressed for more information. Are you sure you didn't do anything to make her believe that you were being inappropriate? Are you sure you weren't harassing her even unintentionally? I told her I have never even talked to her unless it was about work or if she approached me first. HR thanked me for coming in and told me she'd get back to me. I think she met with Karen after that. Then later in the day, we had a meeting with the three of us. Karen said I lied about not doing anything to make her uncomfortable. That after the first time she came to me asking me to eat my potatoes differently, I dismissed it as a joke, which to be fair, I did because I'm really... And that's funny. You're funny. That's a funny joke. Which I acknowledged because who wouldn't take it as a joke? Then she claimed that after each time she asked me to tone it down, I escalated by choosing increasingly sexy potatoes to eat in front of her, by which point I'm pretty sure HR was trying hard not to roll her eyes. I responded by telling Karen I literally gave zero thought about her when I bought my potatoes and selected them based on the ease of cooking/eating. She accused me of making eye contact with her while I was eating, which I think I did every time she watched me eat. Imagine just like casually eating your lunch and someone's just staring at you. Like, there's no way that you're not gonna stare back. Because it's really uncomfortable to have someone watch me eat. Agreed. I explained and I told her I had repeatedly asked her to stop watching me eat. She then pointed out that no one else eats potatoes this way and the only reason I would do this is to try and be provocative, which I swear to God, HR almost laughed at her. I showed her a video of Japanese people eating potatoes with your hands and biting into them. HR woman knows me and knows I'm not the type to harass someone or deliberately make a hostile work environment. At the end, she just said something like, I'm sorry about the misunderstanding. Perhaps it would be best to look the other way when your coworker is eating. Thank you. It's none of your business how sexy the potatoes are and how sexy they are being eaten. Basically trying to politely tell Karen to get her head out of her butt. Then Karen tried to turn it around by claiming I was trying to make a hostile work environment by telling our coworkers bad things about her. But all I had done was ask others if they were uncomfortable with the way I eat and explaining why I had asked them. Dude, I swear we never grow up. Like, I know that I said being mature is overrated, but like also being an absolute basket case is like, this is immature, but it's also being insane.
You're insane. Insane.
She tried yet another angle, claiming the way that I ate them with my hands was a COVID risk and that I was putting the safety of the office in jeopardy by eating this way. You could literally say that she's being like racist toward you. If this is your culture and she's like, it's like telling someone not to eat with chopstick. It's like, what? HR then said if she was so concerned, she was welcome to work from home, as is currently company policy. I work in hardware, so it's harder for me to work from home, but Karen works in support, so it would be easy for her to work from home. Eventually, Karen had to concede she had nothing left, so we were all dismissed. Later, I talked to my coworker who had stopped bringing curry because of Karen. Let's call him Surya, about the problems I had with her. Wait, this sounds Dude! He had been unable to eat his regular Indian lunches in the office because of her? Dude, I'm telling you, she's racist. We were both extremely annoyed, and honestly, it felt extremely uncomfortable being in an office where she was constantly judging Asian people's food. So I decided to file a report with HR as suggested by many of you. Right. I pointed out how she was harassing Asian people for their food choices, and many of her comments toward me were bordering on harassment. Surya agreed to bring curry for lunch today, and in solidarity, I brought some too, along with my potatoes. Karen didn't comment at all, but she gave us some dirty looks and made disgusted faces a few times. Oh, hell no. I actually got called into a meeting this afternoon with my boss, who's also one of the founders of the company. He confessed that he didn't like Karen either, and she had multiple complaints about her within the first month of her being hired. She's been here under 2 months, and he had hired her as a favor to his wife because she is his wife's cousin and had lost her job due to COVID. I wonder why they chose to let her go. He apologized to me on her behalf and assured me that he would talk to her. I decided to keep my harassment claim with HR and have another meeting tomorrow. We'll see how this goes. Thank you for your tips and suggestions. I will keep eating sexy potatoes for the foreseeable future. Hooray! The sexy potatoes win again. But then again, we always win, don't we? This happened about 3 years ago. At the time, I'd lost about 80 pounds, 160, and had decided to gain weight. Throughout my diet, I cooked my own food. Now I've been doing this for over a year. It took a lot of discipline to not eat fast food, as I work next to In-N-Out, a burger joint. During my weight loss journey, I decided to go to the gym and bulk up, so my lunch at work reflected that. One day, my coworker saw my lunch and told me that I should give it to him, since he is starving and broke. He spent his money on computer parts. Okay, I'm sorry, looking for where that is my problem. Nope, can't find it.
Sounds like a you problem.
I just stared at my coworker and asked him to repeat himself. He restated that he wanted my lunch because he was starving and that I must have already eaten before arriving at work. I told him that I was looking forward to my lunch and I follow a strict diet, and that includes time periods where I'm able to eat. You literally don't have to give an excuse. That's not how this works. Oh, I want that. Give it to me. It's mine now. No. I started eating my lunch and the guy screamed, "Really? You're not even going to share, bro? That is a lot of food." I just sat down and ignored him. He ended up leaving me alone, but kept muttering to himself on how I was such a prick. Told my other coworkers about that. They were all appalled by the other guy's actions. That coworker no longer works with us. He got let go, but the entitlement of that a-hole. This is the thing about working in an office. I feel like you encounter like a lot of entitled people. Always. Entitled coworkers that just really don't understand boundaries at all. They feel entitled to your time, entitled to your lunches. Like, it would be a problem to like bring your own lunch to work. I never thought that someone would want to like take it. That's kind of like the whole point of bringing your own lunch, isn't it? Coworker brought his dog to the office. Dog did this. Coworker says, "I'm real busy, so can someone else get it?" No. That's your poo-poo to clean up. Your dog, your poo-poo. Put a paper tent on it next to it saying, "Coworker is too busy to clean this up right now. Kindly do not bother them." So you just left the dog poo there, not really intending to clean it up. And now you're all just kind of sitting in the dog poo smell. Your dog, your poo-poo. That's your poo-poo now. Am I the a-hole for saying I will never host another family event? Let's find out. We had a family get-together for Father's Day. My older brother, Adam, 45 years old, came over also. We all got pizzas. My son, Drew, 14, is autistic and vegetarian. He also had food texture issues, so the only pizza he likes is cheese. Drew was waiting until everyone settled down to get his pizza to avoid him being overwhelmed. Adam, who normally eats Meat Lover's pizza, went second to last and grabbed the last 6 pieces of cheese and licked them in front of my son? Huh?
Adam!
So now he didn't have any pizza to eat. You're 45 years old? 45.
Grow up, bro! Grow up!
What? You know, I don't even know very many kids that would do this, let alone a 45-year-old man. I called out Adam and he laughed and said, "Early birds." I got pissed and kicked Adam out of my home. My parents got mad saying it was Father's Day and I'm ruining it for my dad. Okay, but you didn't ruin it. Adam ruined it when he licked 6 pizza slices. He didn't only lick 6 pizza slices, he licked the only pizza slices that your autistic child would eat. I ended up telling my mom this is the last family event that I will ever host at my home. We hosted everything since I got married almost 20 years ago. My parents said I overreacted, thus ruining my dad's Father's Day. I said it was Adam who ruined it by going after a kid with autism for no reason. Yeah, that's kind of... I feel like your reaction was appropriate. My mom left crying, but I'm not backing down on hosting any more events, including what was supposed to be a 4th of July barbecue. The lot of them. Go away. All of them. What the hell? What the actual hell? Okay, I have already made a decision, but let's look at the comments, just for fun. Not the a-hole, but a 45-year-old man licked 6 slices of pizza on purpose so his nephew wouldn't eat? What is wrong with him? The grandparents saw nothing wrong with that and defended their disgusting son. Yikes, something is seriously wrong with these peoples. Celebrate me being a great father while I allow my adult son to torment my autistic grandchild. Father of the year over here. What is the most WTF thing a family member has done? When I was 17, my mother spent a good chunk of money to find a doctor that said I could wait to have heart surgery so she didn't have to pay for it. Even though we had 3 doctors saying I needed it. She found one that said no. So I had to wait 6 months until I turned 18 to have heart surgery. Also, she could save $3,000 since my dad had to pay for 75% of the bill. He paid the whole bill and she paid nothing. That's probably the most WTF thing a family member has done. Oh no. $3,000, eh? I know that's maybe a lot of money to some people, but what if your daughter didn't survive that waiting period? At least I have $3,000. Remember that when she's old and can't take care of herself. Oh, that's an interesting take. Rude comments from friends and family. Rant/vent. No error in those ones. Last week, I traveled to my hometown with my 2-year-old son. It was great to see everyone, but I had to hear a lot of weird comments about either my son or my choice to become a mother, and I need to vent about it. I'm here for you, honey. Why don't you just lean a little closer? This is my good ear. I actually have only one good ear. This one's a little muffled. What? What did you say? I went to too many bass shows and broke my eardrum. I got married to my husband at 23 and we got pregnant accidentally a few months later. I was finishing college at the time and he was starting residency. I'm 27 now, he's 29 and is working as a doctor. We are stable, responsible, and very happy with our little family. Despite all of this, we are still made to feel like we rushed into things and made a huge mistake. Family members love to have opinions about your life, don't they? If it's not, when are you getting married? It's, when are you having kids? It's, when are you having another kid? Or, in this case, I feel like you did it too soon. I'm the only one of my friends to have a child, and many of my family members are childless, including several aunts, uncles, and cousins. Interesting. Most of my friends have decided not to have children. I completely support anyone who decides to not become a parent, even more so after becoming one myself and realizing how consuming it is. However, I can't deny that it makes me feel lonely and different somehow. I've tried to make mom friends, but I probably don't need to explain how difficult that can be. Anyways, I know I have to handle those feelings, but the comments I've been hearing are starting to make me upset. I'm just going to list them below to try and make this short. At my family reunion, I wasn't able to sit and eat because my toddler collapsed the 10th people were standing under and then proceeded to run into the street laughing, as well as partaking in other shenanigans, as children do. My dad gently suggested to my brother that he help me so I could eat, and my brother said loudly, "Why should I? I didn't go and have a kid. I can sit here and relax." Clock that. Keep it away for a rainy day when he asks you a favor, which will happen, because guess what? He's your family. About 40 people heard him and laughed, and I went inside with my son for the rest of the night. At the same reunion the next night, my uncle was watching me interact with my son and said, "Man, I am so glad I never had kids. Man, I am so glad I get to care only about myself." My friend invited a few of us over for dinner and I had to bring my son. He was trying to touch everything in my friend's house, so I basically had to carry him the entire time and keep him away from the giant dog. My friends watched me and then both started an hour-long discussion about how much they don't want children. Totally fine, just not sure why they had to do it in front of me when my son is obviously the one making them not want kids. Oh God, oh, look at that thing. Ugh. I think things change when it's your own children, you know what I'm saying? My husband's best friend and fiance told us that after spending time with us and our son, they decided to wait 10 years to have children. They literally said, because of what you guys did, we got to see how bad it is. Hell no. You know what you should say? You should say, God, it's a really good thing you don't have kids. People with toxic families of Reddit. What's a story you thought was funny until you shared it? My lovely grandmother faked a heart attack on my mom's birthday because she was getting all the attention and gifts. Stop. No, she didn't. We all went to the hospital and everything. She continues to say it was real after 7 years, and the doctor told us there was absolutely nothing wrong with her. She did this twice. Shut up! Stop it! That is so messed up. My sister's mother-in-law would pull that all the time. She couldn't stand when anyone got more attention than she did. We mostly ignored her histrionics to the point where when she actually did become ill with cancer, no one believed her. Even her own doctors were skeptical because she was a known hypochondriac and she died 6 months later. Remember that story, the boy who cried wolf? God, imagine being that desperate for attention that you need to like fake a heart attack in order to get people to pay attention to you. Am I the a-hole for expecting my girlfriend to pay for her stay at my family's cabin? Do you pay for your family's cabin? Are you like charging her a fee? Go on. My grandparents own a big old cabin where every generation after them have enjoyed annual family vacations. Due to the cabin's age, there's constant maintenance that needs to be done. Every time we've replaced, fixed, or repaired something, there is another thing that needs fixing. We also started slowly renovating the cabin as the interior has become quite dated. These costs have become too much for my grandparents to handle, especially since their age means they can't do much of the work themselves and they need to hire professionals. This has caused them to implement a fee system. Okay. The rule is as follows. Every person from the age of 20 years old needs to pay an annual fee to be allowed to stay at the cabin. The size of the fee varies as it is calculated according to how many people plan on using the cabin and how big the upkeep costs were the previous year. I've happily paid this fee ever since the rule was implemented, and so have my parents, aunts, uncles, and cousins. That is because you are your grandparents' family. Every summer, my extended family tries to find a weekend during the summer where most of our vacations overlap, so we can all meet at the cabin and catch up. I decide to invite my girlfriend as long as I want to introduce her to this tradition, as she's someone I am imagining spending many future summers at the cabin with. She was ecstatic about the idea of meeting my extended family and going to the cabin, as she's very curious about it after hearing me talk about it a lot. Naturally, I sat her down and told her about the rule and how she needed to pay, as everyone else paid. And it was only fair for her to do so as well. No, but she doesn't get to use the cabin without you, so no. No. This year's fee is around $200 to $400 depending on how many people use the cabin due to a big roof leak and some pretty substantial water damage. The idea of paying this fee really upset her, and we had a big argument where she concluded with me saying she would make other plans without me this summer. I'd probably do that too. The year's fee is $200 to $400. So you're expecting her to pay how much of that? What is that, like $50 or something? You're really nickel and diming your girlfriend over that? Hell to the no. And it's not like she's getting to pay a fee and then getting to use the cabin herself. She has to be there with you. The rule is very simple and made completely fair on everyone. Yeah, everyone in the family. I don't understand why she thinks she should be exempt from it. My brother told me I should just pay her fee as my extended family really would like to meet her, but I don't think that's fair for me to pay double the fee when she's completely capable of paying it herself. Am I the a-hole? Edit, the cabin is not leaky anymore. All the damages were fixed this spring. Yeah, I was gonna say, she has to go and like pay to stay in a leaky cabin. My uncle handles the finances for this and usually pays for everything before calculating individual costs at the end of the year. I'm gonna go ahead and say you're an a-hole, and not only an a-hole, you're a cheap a-hole. As she is someone I'm imagining spending many future summers at the cabin with. Don't hold your breath. Yeah. You're the a-hole, she's your guest, not your tenant. That's what's up. I mean, I get asking her to bring a bottle of something, food, etc. I would agree with that. I would think that if you are staying for free at someone's place, you know, you offer to make them dinner, you like, you know, buy them a nice bottle of wine, some cocktail stuff, just like a little gift to show your appreciation, but you don't give them a fee. I would be mortified if my boyfriend had this ridiculous request, meeting his family at his request for the first time. Right? After this, I doubt there's gonna be any future. Can you imagine? Spend $400 for the privilege of meeting my family. You're the a-hole. You're not renting the cabin out. You're contributing to your family's accommodations. She, on the other hand, is a guest, not family. That's what I'm saying. And with all of this, may not even be your girlfriend for too long, so it isn't fair to ask her to contribute to something that is your family's gain and not hers. You either had to exclude her out of the payment plan for this year, at least, or until you go fiance or wife level. Agreed. If she's your wife, then she's part of the family. So she'll be contributing to her future family accommodations, or pay for her from your own pocket if your family insists on paying her share. Inviting her over and then asking her to pay for something your family will keep in the end is not okay. Yeah, that's so true. All right, we've decided. You're the a-hole. A cheap one, too. Am I the a-hole for refusing to go to my friend's boyfriend's party after she demanded to approve my outfit? Hey, everybody. Welcome back. My 29 female and Kate, 28, has a boyfriend, Jamie, 29, whom she's been with for nearly 3 years. We met Jamie on a night out, and I would say that although he's Katie's boyfriend, I consider him a friend. We share interest in a particular sport that we text about sometimes.
The team, go sports.
And if I have a spare hospitality ticket to one of the sporting fixtures, I will sometimes invite Jamie to go. Okay, my guess is your friend doesn't like that. Jamie's 30th is coming up, and Jamie and Kate planned a big party, and I peripherally helped out with logistics when she asked. A few days ago, Kate texted me. She asked if I wouldn't mind, quote, toning down my look for the party, and if I could send her a picture of what I was planning to wear. Oh, absolutely not. No. Unless you have a friend that like literally shows up like butt naked. You don't have a right to be mad about what people wear. This is giving,
I want my friend to be ugly so that my boyfriend doesn't look at her.
if your immediate reaction is to like blame the girl, it's a no from me, dog. You should want your friends to look their absolute best at all times. And even if they don't want to look their best, you should support that. I asked her what this meant. And after asking several times if she
Really had to say it.
she asked if I could dress verbatim.
Basically, what I would consider frumpy.
She wants you to dress frumpy because she didn't want to be outshone at her own boyfriend's birthday party. You so cute, people hate your existence. Something tells me it doesn't matter what you wear, you would still look better than her on the inside and the outside. When I didn't reply right away, she went on to say that she wanted Jamie's full attention that night. Then, like, go on a date with him. Like, don't have a party. And she wouldn't get that attention if I showed up dressed properly. I'm sorry, is this a matter of she can't control her man, or is she just really insecure? Is what I'm wondering. She should feel very confident in her own relationship. There's always gonna be beautiful girls out there. You need to be able to trust your man. If you got issues to make you not trust your man around other women, that's something you gotta work out. I was a bit annoyed by what she was implying. I would be too. So I said if I was gonna be so much of a concern for her, I'd rather just politely decline the invitation. Yeah, and the friendship. Kate freaked out, said I was being immature by not coming just because I couldn't steal the spotlight. Oh, no. The only person being strange and immature is Kate. Missy. I said it wasn't about that. It was about her making me responsible for whether or not I draw her boyfriend's attention, which is something I've never tried to do nor done as far as I'm aware. Then she said it was really important to Jamie that she stand out because his friends and colleagues will be there. Yeah, but like someone else being beautiful does not make you less beautiful. Other people around you don't need to dim their light for you to be special in your own right. That rhymed. I told her that again, if she was so worried I was going to be distracting everyone, I'd rather not come than feel humiliated from now until the event. It literally is giving she wants you to look like because it makes her feel better about herself. I said I would send her Jamie's gift and she could tell him why I wasn't coming. Yeah, something tells me she's not going to be entirely forthcoming about why you're not coming. I guess she didn't tell him the reason because Jamie messaged me saying he knows I'm booked the night of the party, but he'd really like it if I could be there, and asked if I could reorganize so I could come. I haven't replied, but I got a message from Kate saying she knows Jamie's trying to get me to come, and please could I just put my pride aside and come to the party. If anyone needs to put anything aside, it's Kate. She should be lucky that you would even consider being friends with her at this point because that is messed up. I've ended friendships for much less than this. It's because when I see the red flags, it's like, okay, I'm not gonna let this get worse. I have ended friendships because friends were like upset that I was getting attention or upset that like I was doing well. I have stopped genuinely talking to those people as much, if not at all. Yeah, this to me is like inconceivable that you would want to continue being friends with someone who could ever feel this way about you.
Inconceivable.
I asked if she was going to ditch the outfit policing, but she said no. So I said I would not be coming. I think you need to tell her boyfriend that. Maybe it's just the messy in me, but like I'd tell him. She didn't reply, but I've since received a couple of texts from mutual friends saying that while her request is ridiculous, Kate is aware of that. She's just desperate to be seen a certain way, even if it's pathetic. I would probably feel the same way in her shoes. I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far. Other people doing well in life and being, you know, beautiful should be like celebrated, not toned down. It has literally nothing to do with you, and it doesn't make you any less beautiful. What does make you less beautiful is how you're behaving, Miss Kate. Other friends I've told who don't know Kate say I should not bow to the pressure and that she's nuts for even asking, and I don't disagree. But I also feel bad for skipping the party when it's Jamie's birthday, and he asked specifically that I come. So should I be going?
Probably not.
How long have you known Kate? It doesn't really say. I don't think that you owe her anything. And I understand you're also punishing Jamie, but like, sounds like you're pretty good friends with him. And I think that he might have a right to know why you're not coming. I would want to know that about my partner, so I could just Cativo! All right, let's look at the comments. Not the a-hole, tell Jamie the truth, just say sorry, but when the choices are giving up my bodily autonomy or giving up the party, the choice is simple. There you go. She'd totally be within her rights to do that, but if she went for actually like, no, girlfriend asked me not to come if I don't let her pre-approve my outfit, and I felt really weird about that, or even like, girlfriend and I have had a disagreement and she asked me not to come, I'll let her fill you in, might be more likely to get a good outcome. Yeah, but then she could literally just lie. Next comment says, I like the second option. It puts the onus on the insecure friend, and she can come clean about the disagreement or dig a deeper hole. She clearly didn't, given the whole story when telling the boyfriend why OP was coming. Yeah, because it's embarrassing. Like, that is embarrassing behavior. So I think it's a nice subtle way to tell him there's more to the story without fully going scorched earth and sending screenshots of the text. I think it's a much more diplomatic and classy way to handle it, at least. I agree with you. Okay, if you wanna like, you know, leave it more ominous, mysterious, if you will, just go for it. Something tells me that when he finds out, the relationship will end anyway. Okay, so we do have an update. As surprised as I was that so many people said to tell Jamie, I did realize it was the right thing to do. So I texted him and told him Kate was insisting I dressed a certain way. Jamie called and explained. A couple of months ago, Jamie and Kate were out with a few of his friends. These same friends that I mentioned in my comments are not fond of Kate, and everyone had a lot to drink. They were talking about how they met their significant others, and the story of Jamie and Kate meeting came up. Apparently, during the telling of this story, Kate asked Jamie why he decided to hit on her rather than me, and one of his friends joked that it was because he knew he didn't have a shot with the hot one, me. Kate asked if this was true, and Jamie, having way too much to drink, explained in a way that made it sound kind of true. Okay, so like, listen. Listen. That sucks to hear. I would feel some type of way about it, but that's not OP's fault. You want to be chosen first. Like, I get that, but like, this is just like doomed. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, this is doomed. He said he did notice me that night and thought I was attractive, just seeing me. He said he would never have approached me because he knew he would never have a chance with someone like me. So in that way, his friend was right. He said that speaking to Kate was the absolute best outcome because he loves her and plans on spending the rest of his life with her. But even knowing this, Kate has taken this extremely hard. And even though she says she's over it, he's noticed changes in her behavior that seem to be related to that. He also admitted that he'd been planning to propose to Kate at that party, and that is why he'd wanted me to be there. But after hearing this on top of the way she's been handling the situation, he won't be doing that anymore. I get where Kate is coming from. I do. I'd be kind of annoyed about that too, but don't be mad at like your friend. She didn't do anything. It would be different if you like, you know, sort of crossed the line a little bit with her boyfriend, but not like, you can't help the way that you look.
Slay.
If she should be mad at anyone, it should be the friends, quite frankly. Kind of a dick move to make you feel that way. After speaking to Jamie, I called Kate. She admitted that she tied a lot of her self-worth in the fact that she'd finally been picked over me, and now it felt like that wasn't true. She apologized for trying to solve her insecurities through me, but also said she wasn't sure she would be able to have me in her life, as much as I had been with the way she's been feeling. I hate it when people place so much importance on like looks, you know? There's more behind love than just the way you look. It's important to be attracted to your partner, but there's always gonna be a more beautiful girl, a more handsome man. You have to be in love with the person. Maybe it is better that you guys are not friends. As hurt as I was, I said I understood. She said she still wanted me to come to the party since I'd helped organize it, and she'd obviously dropped the absurd dress code, so I will be going to the party. I trust that Kate will communicate her boundaries to Jamie, but I don't plan on inviting him to any more events for the foreseeable future. I'm really sad that I've probably lost a longtime friend over the drunken awkwardness of other people, but I also get that Kate can't help how she feels. And frankly, it's for the best to not be in secret competition. You never, ever, ever want to be in secret competition with a friend. Never. You always want to feel uplifted by the people around you. Sometimes women really can't help it. It's this almost like scarcity mindset that we have, that like being in a friend group or having, you know, colleagues that are better than us at certain things, like it just makes us feel like we're less worthy. And we got to check ourselves. We cannot be mad at other people for existing and doing well in life. We can't. That's the patriarchy, my friends, making us think that there's only so much to go around. So yeah, I'm hurt, but I'm going to the party. Not a satisfying update, but an honest one. So, small update, which I think is important. Going through these comments has actually brought up a lot of memories that have, in hindsight, made me a bit uncomfortable. And I actually don't think I will end up going to this party. As much as the mutual friends will have questions and I don't know how much of the truth I will end up telling, I feel too weird right now to continue to be involved in this situation. All right, let's see what she said. Jamie sounds like a real piece of work with bad taste in friends. So you dodged a bullet. That's not something you should say in front of your partner. Literally. That is like so inappropriate and like quite frankly irrelevant. It's hurtful and it's mean. And like I understand that they don't like Kate, but like it's none of their business. Drunk or not, that is not information that they should have shared. I hope Kate gets out of this relationship before it gets any more serious and you two can mend fences. But either way, be glad he didn't think he had a shot with you and you can just walk away from this whole drama-filled mess. So people in the comments are basically saying that the boyfriend still likes OP. You know, he's kind of bringing things up about, you know,
oh, I didn't have a shot with you, like you're the hot one.
Especially, you know, maintaining the friendship the way that he is. I don't know, it could be innocent, but it could not be. And like knowing the history there, like that's a little odd.
Well, it's true. These guys are just weird.
This is heartbreaking for Kate. You did nothing wrong, and she obviously was out of line with what she was asking of you. But I can't imagine hearing your partner say that would be an easy thing to get over, especially if she's insecure. I mean, yeah, that's a very good point. I still genuinely feel like it's not something that she should be mad at OP for. I can understand why she feels the way she feels. At the same time, it's just weird. I don't want to feel like I'm in competition with my friends, like ever, 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 ever. She shouldn't have asked. He shouldn't have said what he did or exposed her to his friends if they have a history of not treating her well. I'm sorry you're losing a good friend over this. I hope she takes a step back from him and you guys patch things up. Their relationship doesn't sound healthy at all. Me personally, and listen, this is my opinion.
That's my opinion!
I don't like to feel like I'm in competition with my friends. The way that the friend feels, Kate feels about OP is that she always feels like she's never picked, which is like a feeling. I've also felt that way. But like never have I said to my friends that they need to like look less hot. No one wants to know that their partner feels that way. I get why Kate is mad, but she shouldn't be blaming her friend. That's how I feel. I do not want to be in competition with my friends ever. That is friendship ending for me. So those of you who are like, oh, feel bad for Kate, feel bad for Kate. I do feel bad for Kate. And I'm allowed to change my take kind of as the story goes on, by the way.
What? No.
It sort of seems like sometimes people are like, you picked the wrong person to defend. At the end of the day, me personally, that is friendship ending. Words of affirmation and being uplifted by my friends and people that I love is literally like my love language, okay? It is so important to me. That would be a deal breaker for me, but might not be a deal breaker for other people, and you're entitled to that opinion. So, are you the a-hole for refusing to go to my friend's boyfriend's party after she demanded to approve my outfit? No, you are not. Ever. Ever. Am I the a-hole for being upset my best friend didn't tell me she got married until nearly a week later? We got time for one more, right?
Oh, I hope so. I hope so.
So, my best friend, 20 female, and I, 19 female, have been friends for about 5 years now. And we were recently both pregnant. She's 7 months and I miscarried at the beginning of February. Oh, I'm sorry to hear. It's not fun. She has distanced herself from me since then. Even after I told her that talking, hearing, or being involved in her pregnancy was still perfectly fine with me. But it was almost like mostly radio silence from her aside from a few small conversations. Her whole pregnancy, she decided she wanted to get a courthouse wedding before she gave birth. She explicitly told me she wanted me to be there when she got married and for her baby shower. Ooh. Her baby shower came first. I wasn't sure what was happening with it because she said she might do 2 with each side of the family, her now husband's family and hers. Until one morning when she texted me a photo of the set of a baby shower / gender reveal. So she didn't invite you. She didn't ask if I wanted to come, didn't tell me when it was, just a photo of the setup the morning of. Then I got a text saying that she was having a girl later that evening. This was a planned party that I heard absolutely nothing about beforehand, after she said she wanted me there. I let it go and I didn't want to stress her out in her pregnancy, especially since I wasn't sure if I wasn't just hurt because of my sensitive feelings since it happened 3 weeks after my miscarriage. Next was the courthouse wedding. I found out the day after it happened through Facebook. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. I can understand her not wanting to hurt your feelings by being involved in anything like baby related. Like I can't actually because you've said that you don't mind, but like the wedding.
She's not your friend.
No text from her telling me it was happening, no message that it happened that night, nothing. Even the next day. Yeah, because she knows she should have invited you. She got married on the 1st. She just decided to offhandedly tell me today as if it was just something like the weather changing, and I can't help but feel incredibly hurt. I mean, yeah, I would as well. You clearly consider her a way better friend than she considers you. She did you a favor. I consider her almost like a sister. I've even given her a place to live when she needed it. And I was always there wanting the best for her. And she told me she wanted me there when she got married. But she didn't even tell me herself until almost a week later. I understand it was her day and it's her choice to who is there. But she called me her best friend. She said I was important to her and she wanted me there, but I didn't even get told by her until a week later and found out from Facebook with radio silence from her until she told me today. Oh, call her out, babes. Call her out, dude. Absolutely not. She texted saying she wanted me there and that she was going to come pick me up. Still never told me she was going to do this. So I still wouldn't have had any clue even if she did come to pick me up, but work got in the way. But she was able to have her parents, sister, another couple, and their kid, and now husband's sibling there with her. She managed to get 7 people together to watch her get married, but couldn't even tell her parent best friend until nearly a week later. It's one thing if she just wanted like her parents there, like that's totally fair, right? Like it's small, it's intimate, but there were other people there. I feel horrible being upset by this because I don't want to stress her out or hurt her, but this is now 2 major occasions she said she wanted me there for, and I didn't find out until either the last minute or after it's already over. Call her out, babe. Call her out. I'm dead serious. Call her out. This is unacceptable. Like, the fact that she's not feeling like upset by you not being there for these like major events and you are more upset than she is, that's crazy. I thought we were still very close. I've supported her through her sobriety journey and even housed her with my family when she needed it. So I care very deeply for her and I do not want to hurt her. Like I understand you don't want to hurt her, but she also hurt you. Being pregnant does not excuse you from like having to face the consequences of your actions. I understand you don't want to stress her out and stuff like that, but at the same time, you don't need to like yell at her, but you do need to say something. Or don't, like, I don't know, like avoid the topic if you need to, but like this obviously hurt you. As much as I love the stonewalling and avoidance and stuff like that, I do hate conflict, but I recently resolved a conflict for the most part, where I said how I truly felt after honestly like 6 months of like saying nothing. It gave me time to understand why I was upset and time to like not be angry. So I'm not mad about how I handled it. I feel like I needed to calm down because I also was like left out of things and like wasn't treated as a friend, and that hurt me. I did tell her eventually how I felt, and at least there's no more confusion now. I'm not sure if I feel better because I don't know if things are gonna change. I at least want there to be no confusion about why I was upset and why the friendship kind of like fizzled out. So tell her when you're ready. Maybe wait till after she gives birth or something like that. But you need to tell her. Like you absolutely need to tell her. She acts just as kind and caring, just distance and our interactions seem more and more superficial. How does it take a week to remember telling your best friend you got married? Am I overreacting? No, you're not. She's treating you like you're not a close friend anymore. And that's hurtful because you consider her a very good friend. Top comment said, sounds like she isn't as good of a friend as you thought. Yeah, there you go. And it hurts to find that out. Like it really, really does. But at the end of the day, it's like the person that you're protecting is also the person that hurt you. Maybe take some time, figure out how you want to say it calmly. Always start with like, I feel hurt. Like don't come at it with anger, but like you should tell her how you feel. She's not your best friend, sorry. Yeah, this is like inconceivable for me. This is sadly the age when childhood friends pass into acquaintances. I'd recommend that you go out into the world and look for more friends. This girl will probably come back to you when she needs you again. I mean, I didn't want to say it, but you need to find friends who put similar amount of work into their friendships. It hurts a lot to find out that the person that you love like a sibling doesn't feel the same. I'm sending you hugs. Yes, big hugs. Big, big, big hugs. It happens. I get it. It really sucks. Like it's almost worse than like a breakup, like a romantic breakup. When this happens with someone that you really, really care about as a friend, it's really, really hard to get over, especially when you've known them for so long. Like it's so tough. I definitely empathize with you there. Sometimes friendships fizzle out. Sometimes they end. You should talk to her about it and come tell us what happened. Am I the a-hole for not moving out of my apartment so my brother can have it? I, female 23, have an older brother, 32 years old. I moved out of my parents' house earlier than him and found a small place for myself that is really close to my job. The place is not the biggest. It's a 1-bedroom apartment, but it is enough for one person and the rent is very cheap. So I'm extremely happy with it. I put a lot of work into it and made sure it's my little happy space. Recently, my brother started staying over now and then. I don't have a problem with that. He works the night shift and my place is also closer to his job than my parents' house. The problem began when he started bringing more and more stuff to my place. Man, you give them an inch, they always take a mile, don't they? He brought his PS4, he started gaming in my living room, and is overall just being a terribly inconsiderate guest and treats me like our mom. So you said that it's 1 bedroom? Does he sleep in your bed? Like on the couch? Like where does he sleep? I brought this up with my parents, and my dad suggested I should let my brother live there and get myself a new apartment. Or your brother could look for his own place. Do they also expect you to pay for it? Like, he said I should look for a bigger place because my brother makes less money and he could afford my place and I could find something better. Oh no. No. We don't like this type of enabling behavior. But I don't want a bigger apartment. I have no plans to have a family or a partner where I would need anything more than a 1-bedroom. And I put so much work into personalizing my apartment that it feels so unfair. My parents said I'd be an a-hole for both, kicking out my brother for staying over and not giving him the place. Is that true? No, your parents obviously, like, he's the golden child, it seems, but he also seems like kind of a deadbeat. Edit with some additional info. My brother does not pay rent. He used to stay here only for a couple of days, but it's been turning into 2 weeks. No. I would not want to live with my brother. Ew. We have a little edit 2 days later. I did contact my landlord as of today. She hasn't responded yet, but she's nice, so I hope she'll understand my situation. Also, additional info, I didn't know my parents or my dad would react like this. Believe me, I didn't either.
He's gone crazy.
I thought he'd help me talk to him. We don't have a bad relationship. I'm trying to figure out why he thinks my brother should have my apartment too, but my dad hasn't been responsive since that conversation. Doing a little stonewalling, eh? Because like some families genuinely feel that it's like,
Oh, we need to like help other people. We need to help, like, you know, when your family asks for help, you need to help them and stuff.
but at your own expense? Why is it that we're only caring about like how it affects one person? It affects you too. You would then have to pay more money to move out. It's very inconvenient. I fail to understand why the help is only being offered to one person.
The golden child.
golden kid.
Exactly, yes.
Right.
Relevant comments. Does he pay for utilities or food? Did he with your parents? It's been a while since I asked, but I think he paid a bit of rent to my parents. He doesn't pay for anything when he stays there. Okay, so they want to get rid of him.
Nailed it.
We have different diets, so he doesn't want to eat when I eat. I'm vegan. And he buys takeout for himself when he stays, but he doesn't grocery shop, given I've never asked that of him. I've tried talking to my brother, but he keeps claiming that he isn't staying and it's only for a few days or weeks, but he keeps bringing clothes and his personal stuff, and he's been clearing out a space in my closet for himself. My dad helped me move in, so we talked openly about rent and stuff. When people pointed out the toxicity of the family dynamics, I mean, you're not wrong. I'm realizing that the more I read the comments, it hurts to realize, but yeah, they're screwing me over. They absolutely are. And like, they're doing it in favor of your brother. My brother has always had an excuse for not finding a place. He mostly claims the current market makes it near impossible, but you did it. This is the type of mentality that causes one sibling to be complacent. This babying and the like, you know, like not really putting in that much effort and always asking for help from all the people around him. It is inadvertently teaching him that he doesn't have to try in life. Everybody else is going to come to the rescue. It is actually quite detrimental. When you leave the nest, you leave the nest. You can get help every now and again if things are really bad, but figure it out. Learn how to be an adult.
That was personal.
I understand those are all parts of his excuses. I know I come across as someone with no backbone from all my comments, but I genuinely am overwhelmed with everything going on. I totally agree with you, and it's really unfair. And like, it's clear that not only do your parents want to get rid of your brother, they also expect you to take a financial hit to accommodate him, and that's not fair. Okay, so we do have an update. I attempted to talk to my father again, but at this point I'm assuming that a lot of the comments were right about them just wanting me to deal with my brother in their place. I took time off my work schedule to pack his stuff and waited for him to crash here after work again, since I needed the key back. Looking back, probably not the best move, but I was stressed and tired. It was an awful fight, but it did end with him eventually leaving my apartment and returning the keys. The reason I didn't get the locks changed is because my landlord reminded me that this could be very expensive, and she wouldn't cover the cost for me. It's been several days and my brother has not contacted me since, nor attempted to enter my apartment. I'm still considering changing the locks and might do so soon with my landlord's permission and after covering the cost, but it seems I have my space back. The thing that really bothers me is how my relationship with my parents suddenly suffered so much from this. My initial reaction when I asked them to help me throw out my brother, and my dad's responding with the apartment switch, was that they couldn't be serious. Apparently, they were. My mom did talk to me this week and said since I'm on good terms with my landlord, I could figure something out. It's completely ridiculous and almost comically evil at this point. I told her that's not how renting a space works. I don't know if this is pure entitlement or ego, doesn't matter. I decided to lower contact with them over this until they find out what they did wrong. Regardless of if they do or if they don't, my family are not the main characters of my life, and I'm done with being a doormat to them. It took some encouragement to stand up for myself, and I want to thank everyone who gave it to me. I've experienced this too. It's just like them wanting to help out the brother, him becoming complacent and people always coming to the rescue. It could also be like,
oh, they favor the son over the daughter, or, you know, he's the golden child and she's not. And like,
at the end of the day, it's really not your problem. And it sucks that like you have to step back. It'll be fine.
You sure about that?
I bet you anything they were just sick of him and they wanted to pass him off on somebody else. Good for OOP, and wow, these parents actually really did their son a disservice too by handling things this way. He's learned to be completely helpless with a misguided sense of entitlement. Pretty sad. See? It's doing your children a disservice. Like, don't get me wrong, we all want to be the type of parents to like be there for our children. You also have to be a good parent by learning that they need to stand on their own 2 feet and they have to figure out how to do that. Because if someone is always going to be coming to the rescue, they're not going to learn, like they never are. I remember when OP first posted and you could immediately tell the brother had been enabled by the parents his entire life. It's always the worst enablers that eventually seem to give up and want to force someone else to be burdened with the mess they created.
That part.
So, are you the a-hole for not moving out of your apartment so my brother can have it? No, it's not your problem. He needs to learn how to be an adult. And it's not your responsibility to teach him how. Am I overreacting for threatening to take my sister to court after her toddler destroyed my $2,000 gaming setup because she said I should have baby-proofed my apartment. This one actually went super viral.
Oh my God!
And I've been wanting to do it for a while. I just haven't had the opportunity. So I, 25 female, am a student software developer and a pretty serious PC gamer in my free time. I live alone in a 1-bedroom apartment that I've spent years making cozy and functional. I saved up for a long time to build my dream PC setup. Triple monitors, custom mechanical keyboard, ergonomic chair, the works. Altogether, my rig is worth a bit over $2,000 and I take care of it like it's a child. Last weekend, my older sister, 30 female, asked if she could crash at my place for one night because her apartment was being fumigated and her husband was out of town. She has a 3-year-old son, Max, who's, let's say, spirited. That means he's a garage goblin. I love him, but he is a little chaos goblin. I hesitated, but she swore she'd keep an eye on him and that it would just be one night. They show up Saturday afternoon, and immediately it's clear she wasn't kidding about Max being a handful. Within 10 minutes of arriving, he'd pulled 4 books off my shelf, thrown my houseplants on the floor, and spilled juice on my area rug. I tried to stay chill. He's 3, I get it, but I asked my sister politely to please keep him out of my office where my PC setup is. She rolls her eyes and goes,
He's just exploring. He's curious. It's normal.
but she closes the office door anyway. I'm sorry, did she like clean up the mess that your nephew made? He can go explore outside until he's too tired to move around. Cut to Sunday morning, I wake up to screaming. Max had apparently woken up before his mom, managed to open the office door, and decided my setup was his new jungle gym. Oh no. He pulled down one of my monitors, cracking the screen. He stuck crackers in the PC tower's ventilation slots. I'm not kidding. Yanked out my keyboard's keycaps and had colored on my chair with permanent marker. The cherry on top, he poured apple juice into the tower. Into it. I'm feeling like also the way that your sister seems to minimize how he behaves. Is there any repercussions for his behavior? Because it kind of sounds like she doesn't really care. Is this like the gentle parenting thing? It's one thing if it's just like a one-time thing. It's clear that this little kid doesn't understand that he's not supposed to do things. He needs to learn that you are not allowed to do certain things. When I tell you I went silent, I mean dead silent. My sister comes in, sees the damage, and just says, "Oh no," in this incredibly flat tone, like someone knocked over a coffee cup. I started freaking out, and she has the audacity to say,
You should have baby-proofed the room if it was that important to you.
Excuse me?
This is not baby proofing. This is literally goblin proofing. Like no apology, no like offer to make it right. No. Get out! I lost it. I told her 1, she knew he wasn't supposed to be in there. 2, this is my space, not a daycare. And 3, baby proofing a $2,000 gaming setup is not a standard requirement for adults living alone. She told me to calm down and said that he's just a kid and stuff is replaceable. Okay, then you replace it. I told her she could replace it then. She said she didn't have the money right now, but maybe in a few months she could give me a few hundred. Oh, no. I told her that was not acceptable and she needed to take full responsibility. She left in a huff and now my whole family is blowing up my phone. My mom says I'm being materialistic and should understand that my nephew didn't mean it. Okay, but she's also responsible. Yes, the nephew didn't mean it, but at the same time, your sister is responsible for her son. It's not your responsibility. My dad said I should have locked the door if it was that important. My brother actually said,
Why do you even need 3 monitors anyway? That's kind of overkill.
That's kind of like saying,
It's a good thing your car got stolen because like who needs a car anyway? Why did you spend that much on a car? Of course it's gonna get stolen.
I filed a claim with my insurance, but there's no guarantee it'll be covered since it was technically guest damage. I also told her if she does not pay up, I will take her to court for what happened. It's also just like the blatant disregard and the minimizing of the situation, like sort of placing all the blame on you and like not recognizing that this was something that you really cared about. That honestly makes it 10 times worse. And all of this after you did her a favor. Taking advantage of the kindness is crazy. Now I'm getting texts from my sister demanding an apology for blaming her kid for being curious. Oh, no, no, no. If anybody should get an apology, it's you, at the very least. I told her I'd drop it if she covered the cost of repairs and replacements, or at least meet me halfway, and she blocked me. So, am I overreacting if I take my sister to court over this? No. You're driven to this point because she literally has no regard for your personal belongings. She's blaming it on her son, whatever. Oh, he's curious. No, he's misbehaving, and that is your fault.
Why can't you keep that child of yours under control?
I would honestly reach out to her husband to find out, like, you know, it's not just her kid, it's also her husband's kid. So I'd be curious to know how he would feel about paying you back. So my sister has not unblocked me, but her husband reached out to find out what happened. I'm sorry, I don't have more to tell yet, but I'll update again when I do. Okay, cool. Update 4 hours later. Hey all, my sister's husband reached out as mentioned earlier, and we're working out a solution if possible. He's been very understanding, as have all of you. Also, to clarify the office situation, my 1-bedroom apartment is on the smaller side. So the landlord converted an old ex-clothes cabinet into a makeshift office. It's weird, but the building is from the 40s. And they had to get creative with the space. So it's living room, sister and her kids slept there, kitchen, I slept there, and the office. So OP clarified also in the comments, the office is a converted closet. There is no lock on the door. The door is just heavy and old, which is kind of like, how the fuck did a 3-year-old get in there? She recognized I should have been more cautious with my setup, but it didn't cross my mind that anything like this could happen, as I thought the office was inaccessible to him.
Interesting.
I have a mind to think that, like, maybe your sister opened the door. I'm just saying. So we do have another update. Oh, this is good. Okay, so last Saturday, brother-in-law came over to check out the damage. He brought Max, the toddler, with him, which I was almost livid about at first, but he had a reason. He asked Max to try to open the office closet door. The kid couldn't do it.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
The door was too heavy for him. You can probably guess where this is going. I can. Brother-in-law offered to take my PC to the store that originally built it for me just to see what was fixable. I agreed, but asked for something in writing just so I had some peace of mind. We put together a little agreement that he'd be responsible for it while it was with him. Yeah, it was a formality and would not hold much merit anywhere, but it helped me feel a bit more in control. On Monday, he dropped it off at the shop and gave them my number so he could keep me updated. He also told me he confronted my sister about how things played out. I sent him my original Reddit post, he read the comments, and apparently showed them to her. She hasn't unblocked me, but from what I've heard, she was not happy about the fact that my brother-in-law is actually listening to me. Dude, this is some weird sibling, like, just rivalry or like maliciousness, like what the f***? I also shared the post and some comments with my parents and brother, since no one believed me. My parents don't get it, but they've stopped pushing. My brother's more understanding now, though for some reason he mostly wanted to talk about how many people saw the post. I don't think they care, but I'm fine if they see this. Do better. Anyway, I went to see the PC today. The shop said it's mostly salvageable. It needs a very careful internal clean and a few fans replaced, some wirings fixed, but overall the main parts survived. Brother-in-law told me he will cover the cost of repair, no hesitation. This is what you're supposed to do. If she couldn't afford it, she could have talked to her husband, and she just refused to do that. When I brought up what my sister said about not being able to pay $200, he said she's lying. He also said he's not sure Max actually did all the damage. Oh, that's something I didn't consider. I thought that maybe she opened the door for Max. I didn't even consider that it was the sister. He thinks the door was left open on purpose, that my sister might have even done some of it herself. Based on the height of the tower and where the crackers ended up, it didn't quite add up to a toddler acting alone. Apparently, she's been telling him I have a gambling addiction, and that whole thing will wake me up, which is new. She used to be supportive, or at least indifferent. No idea where that switch came from. So, my PC is being cleaned up and fixed. Brother-in-law's covering the cost. Sister still has me blocked and won't talk to me. Still tempted to start something with her, to be honest, especially if she actually did all of this on purpose. Not ruling out small claims court depending on how things go. One thing I've been turning over in my head lately is what if my sister did do something to my setup on purpose? I don't want to believe that. It feels like a stretch, but the more I think about it, the less so, I guess. But I remember how she acted reacted when I asked her to keep Max out of my office. The eye roll and the
He's just curious
comments, like she didn't take any of it seriously. And now hearing from my brother-in-law that she's been saying I have a crippling gambling addiction and need to grow up. It's weird. She used to be cool about it, never super into games, but she got that it was important to me. If something changed, I don't know when or why. And if it was some weird way to make a point or teach me a lesson, that's messed up. You can teach lessons without damaging people's property. You're not our mom. How about talking first instead of this? I don't want to jump to conclusions, but the more I think about it, the less it makes sense that if Max could have done all of this alone. It's sick if she blamed her own son. And if you're my sister reading this, which I'm guessing you are, because I bet you'd love to look at the comments that are on your side a lot. I don't know why you blocked me. I don't know what shifted in your head, but if you actually had anything to do with damaging my setup, whether it was on purpose or just through complete carelessness, F you. You know I worked hard for that. You know what that rig meant to me, and you know I would never do something like this to your stuff. And if Max really did all of it on his own, I hope you're paying closer attention now. Not for my sake, but for his. Read the comments on my first post from other parents and people with younger siblings who clearly know better than you. That's all. So, the saga continues. My sister is spiraling, but I don't know how or if I should help. So, within a week, brother-in-law confronted the sister, and then she kicked him out of the house. Like full on told him to get the hell out, packed his things, dumped them, and left them by the curb like he was a stray dog. He told me she screamed that he was betraying her and taking the side of that effing Reddit, meaning me. I'm also a Reddit, and I take that as a compliment. She also apparently accused him of co-spiring and cheating on her with me to humiliate her publicly, which what? She hasn't let him see their kids since. No visits, no phone calls. Oh, whoa. She's gone full black hole mode and is completely unreachable, threatening cops if he goes near. She blocked me, my brother, even some extended family, and is only talking to our parents who are still enabling her, but I think it's only so they can keep Max at arm's length. Meanwhile, I'm hearing rumors she's been telling people I'm unhinged, psychotic, and I made the whole thing up. She told one of our cousins that I lured her kid into the office like some kind of trap or setup. Okay. I don't know if this is postpartum related or something snapped, or if she's always been this vindictive and I didn't want to see it, but I'm scared. Scared for her kids, scared for her husband, and yeah, I'm also scared for myself because if she's willing to ruin her whole marriage and turn the family against me just to protect a lie, she did it. I'm telling you right now, she did that to you. She ruined the gaming setup. My parents want to keep it under wraps, but I know my brother-in-law wants her to get help. I want her to get help too, but I don't know where to start or what to do. My brother-in-law voiced wanting to divorce her and told my parents he will get his son whether they approve or not. His side of the family is furious with mine, and I have no idea where I stand because yeah, I guess I started this. So we have one last update. This whole thing has seemingly come to a close. PC is fully functional. The store was able to recover it. Nephew is now in a safe and stable environment with my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law is in the process of separating from my sister. It seems I've essentially been disowned by my mother and my father. The only one still in contact with me is my brother. Oh goodness, this is just like, this really just got so out of control. I'm really sorry. Like, wow. Your sister needs to work her stuff out because this is hella weird. It's concerning, and I'm just glad that her son is okay. He's with a father that is very considerate and very kind and accommodating, and he did what your sister should have done in the first place. To your family who's disowned you and your sister, wish them well in hell. So are you overreacting? No. All right, just a little baby one.
Just a little baby one.
But I promise it's worth it. Am I the a-hole for being upset my brother is taking full credit for a vacation I paid for? I, 34 male, have always tried to do nice things for my parents. They sacrificed a lot for us growing up, and I wanted to treat them to a nice vacation for years, but my work schedule has been insane lately. My brother, 30 male, mentioned he was planning to take our parents to the beach for a week. I thought this was great, since he's rarely that thoughtful. When he mentioned he was struggling with finances, I offered to help cover the costs. I transferred him some money to help pay for everything. Accommodations, flights, activities, meals, the works. I didn't need public recognition, but I did expect my brother would at least tell our parents that we both made this happen. Instead, he's been posting all over social media about how he's treating our parents to this amazing trip. My parents have been calling me and telling me how generous my brother is and how proud they are of him. Yeah, that's exactly why he did it. He wanted his parents, your parents, to be proud of him. And he wanted to take all of that for himself. When I called him out privately, he said,
They're having a great time. Why does it matter who paid?
I mean, it seems to matter to him because he's making it seem like he's the only one who paid. He thinks I'm being petty and I only care about the credit. That's not true. I just feel used. If he had been upfront that he wanted to be the sole giver of this gift, I might have reconsidered or found another way to contribute. My sister thinks I should let it go since our parents are happy. But my wife says he's taking advantage of my generosity and I have every right to be upset. I agree with your wife.
Women are always right.
He is taking advantage of your generosity, making himself out to be this great person when he isn't. I wouldn't be mad if you told your parents what really happened. And you can just say it in a way that like, oh, I'm so happy that you're having a good time. It meant a lot to us to be able to give you this gift after all you've done for us. If he's not gonna tell him, then you should. Am I the a-hole for wanting my brother to acknowledge I financially made this trip possible? It would be nice if your brother was a little more grateful, but I think you should be a little petty in this instance and let your parents know. Not the a-hole. The next time you speak to your parents, just tell them,
I'm so happy you guys are having a blast. Brother said he wanted to take you guys on a trip, and I was more than happy to fund it.
Post to their feed, hey bro, looks like the 5K I sent you is really being put to good use. Keep it up. Since it doesn't matter who paid, he shouldn't have a problem with it, should he? And not the a-hole. Oh, he'll had a problem with it, but it's because he lied. You are not the a-hole. Subscribe!